Have you ever wondered why it is that despite telling yourself you want to choose emotionally available friendships, dating partnerships, long-term relationships, you find yourself still picking and choosing that emotionally unavailable person, wondering, why didn't I know better? Or why didn't I recognize the red flags when I was first starting to get to know this person before fully investing in some type of relationship with them? Well, if you find yourself in this challenging area, you may have one, two, or even three of the next three really important and probably mind-blowing things in regards to why you keep choosing emotionally unavailable people and why those emotionally unavailable people feel safe to you. If you feel comfortable sharing in the comments, I would actually love to hear which of these resonated with you the most. So here's the first thing, and this is something that I think is hardly ever talked about, but something so important to recognize. And it is that if emotions were unsafe growing up, you will actually still want to choose emotionally unavailable people because you don't want to deal with their emotions. What do I mean if emotions were unsafe growing up? I'm actually not talking about just your emotions. Sure, that can play a role too, but I actually mean the emotions of people around you. For example, if you were parentified, if you were somebody who was made responsible at a very young age for the emotional state of other people in your life, including your parents when you were a child, then you're going to pick emotionally unavailable people because you don't want to constantly feel emotionally responsible for other people again. It feels exhausting, taxing, and often leaves you feeling helpless because you can't actually control the emotions of other people in the first place. But also, emotions can be made unsafe because when you saw somebody really emotional, maybe they did unsafe or scary things, like really screamed or broke things or were abusive in some way, mentally, emotionally, physically, etc. And so you actually were scared of people having too many emotions because that led to unsafe circumstances for you as a child. And so as an adult, even though you may crave passion or depth or these different things from your partnerships, you may actually still choose people who are emotionally unavailable because it still feels a little safer and more predictable to you than the scary things that you probably have a lot of negative associations to from childhood. And I really want to share here that you have a conscious mind, and that conscious mind is responsible for 3 to 5% of your decisions. Your conscious mind is like your logical thinking, analytical self. It's the part of you that says, I desire to date somebody emotionally unavailable or to invest in friendships that are emotionally available, sorry, not unavailable. And your subconscious mind is your habituated self. It's your patterned self. And that will have different conditions or conditioned patterns there because of the past. So if through your conditioning, you were made to feel like people with a lot of emotion were scary and unsafe, then your subconscious will be like, no, avoid those people. And that will cause you to be in a position where you're like, okay, why am I choosing somebody who's emotionally unavailable despite telling myself I was going to choose differently? Why? Because your subconscious mind runs the show. It's responsible for that 95+% of all of your beliefs and thoughts and emotions and decisions. And so you may find yourself constantly choosing from that habituated place instead of from what you were trying to analytically choose. This brings me to point number 2 of 3, which is that you also have a subconscious comfort zone for what is most familiar to you. And what is most familiar to you is the way that you treat yourself. Okay. So, that's the primary relationship you have. If you ignore your own needs and feelings, guess what's going to feel familiar? People externally who also ignore your needs and feelings. If you violate your own boundaries to please people, guess what's going to feel familiar? People who will also violate your boundaries and expect you to please them. So people will mirror back to you how you are treating yourself. And guess what? You will pick people that are that perfect mirror for how you treat yourself because your subconscious mind associates that with familiarity and thus safety and thus survival. And at the end of the day, your subconscious mind is survival wired. So you may find yourself going into relationships being like, why does this person not listen to me? Great. Let's take a look at that. If you can actually dig a little bit deeper, you may see, oh, it's because I don't listen to myself. Why does this person not acknowledge my feelings? Oh, because I'm not acknowledging my own feelings and sharing that or expressing that with another person. And so no wonder I keep choosing people like this. So one of the best ways to actually clean that up is to make a list of all the things that trigger you about emotionally unavailable people. Dismissiveness, not being present, ignoring you, putting your feelings last, not listening to your needs. And you may actually find that you have a lot of those things very active in the relationship to yourself. When you change them there, that will change the way that you choose people outside of yourself because your subconscious mind will no longer put up with people who are emotionally unavailable if you are somebody who is truly emotionally available to you. And before I get to point number 3, I actually want to let you know, if you don't know what your needs are in a relationship dynamic, then this is going to be one of the most important things that you learn. And if you want to know your needs and then also start some attachment style reconditioning, actually changing your patterns, we have a promotion fully for free. We have a free course for life. We've never done this before, and we'll only do this here for the month of January. And it is for the needs course. It's going to help you learn all of your needs, the needs that drive you, the needs that you need to self-soothe better in relationships, your relationship needs, how to recognize your partner's needs so you can love them in the way that they need. This course is fully for free and you'll get to keep it for life, as well as check out all of our attachment style healing courses for free for a limited time as well. So I will put a link down below for that too. Here's the last thing. Okay, this can be one of the big reasons you choose emotionally unavailable people is that on some level, if love felt scary to you, if vulnerability felt scary to you growing up, you may not want to choose emotionally available people because you don't trust yourself not to fall too deeply for somebody and then feel out of control. And if you were really scared growing up of emotions because, other people's emotions scared you, like we talked about in point number 1, then you might be like, okay, I don't want to feel too many good emotions or bad emotions, towards somebody else because I don't want to feel out of control of my feelings for somebody because I don't trust myself to be fair to myself and take myself into consideration. So basically, you're just scared to fall too deeply and to feel too much. And you'd be surprised at how often this actually happens, both with fearful avoidance and even anxious attachment styles as well. But of course, our dismissive avoidance. So I hope this is meaningful for you. Which one of these resonated with you of the 3? Sometimes for people, it'll be more than one. I would love to hear below. And thank you for watching, for stopping by. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to this channel, like this video, or share this video with somebody in your life who may benefit. And I hope you do subscribe because I put daily content out on here that you don't want to miss. And I look forward to seeing you in our future videos.